case, were subbed off, and Leskovic, the centre back, took the penalty kick. Was this pre-planned?
Yeah, in the last couple of days we were practicing penalties as well, and actually, Lešković was the guy who was scoring all the penalties. He has a great passing, he has a great shot. So the decision was ours to, with him, Luna was the fifth one. Then there is the moment when you're missing some of players who were supposed to shoot, and then as a coach, you always want to ask if there are any players who wanted to shoot. So actually, we had many raised hands over there and many brave boys. So I'm really proud of them. Really proud of them. Later on, penalty is a penalty. You never know how it will come out. So we are at the bad end. Of course, we are disappointed because of that. But we should continue. I think that there are many positivities this season that these boys were building on, and with the support and the smile, I think that we achieved like we said, something that nobody expected. So we're really pleased because of that.
Coach Joseph from Kellau, in the first half you employed it active where Luna was dropping deep and Sandeep was making the overlapping run and staying there.
Exactly.
And then he used Luna and the midfielders to put cheap balls behind the Hyderabad last line. Unfortunately, we didn't see much of that in the second half, apart from a Leskovic ball to Chencho late in the game. So, was that something the players didn't do it in the second half, or was that a tactic taken off after half time?
This is one of the aspects that we are using in our game. And it's not that we are using it all the time, or we want to use just all those things. In the last 15-20 days, it became really difficult to play here in Goa. It became really humid. And then in the second half, and especially later on in the extra time, it was obvious that the boys were suffering. You're losing so many liquid. Jorge and Alvaro, they had discomfort and trouble with the muscles. They felt some, so we didn't want to take the risk in these circumstances. Then when you miss good runnings behind the line, we know that Hyderabad is one of the best teams of the season. They showed it throughout the whole season. And you want to achieve something. So I think that we played very well in the first half. We were better side. We were conserving the ball all around with the passing game and everything. So we had a couple of good chances. So, but when you play against the tough game, we knew that it will go about one goal, because in the finals, when you face strong teams, it can, one goal can decide everything. So unfortunately, at the end, we conceded that goal in the 2 minutes before the end. Then we had to fight again in the extra time. You try to change certain things, to put some fresh legs from the bench to get running patterns. At the end we were on penalties. So that's it. Again, we are sorry because we lost, of course, disappointed. But again, with the season, we are very pleased and hopefully to continue.
Coach Dulal from Sangat Coaching, I have to ask you a question. After teenage, you start to believe that any team can win ISL, but ISL is not good. ISL is not for Kerala Blaster.
Well, we saw in this league from 11 teams that anybody can beat anybody. So that's the first fact. Then there is the second, and actually these are the things that we want to, we can control. Actually, training process, game, how we want to play, how we want to attack, how we want to defend, all those things. Then there are the things that we cannot control. Referees' decision. And I think that this season we were lots of times at the bad end with so many unpleasant decisions which were working against us. And yet tonight maybe there was this situation, and at the end, if it was like even the red card, I think that Coach Manolo even said like red card for Akash, but it was not even the yellow card for referee. But many of those things that we cannot control, we always try not to bother with them, not to lose energy with them.
I wanted to mean that 2 times can happen, but after 3 times losing final.
I don't believe in bad luck. I'm not the guy who has this in my beliefs. It's just, again, it's sport, it's football. It was about penalties. So, I think that everybody's saying like third time, how you say it in English anyway, like the third time it would be the lucky time, But, I'm the guy who believes in the hard work. I believe in the hard work and certain things in football that they can achieve good results. I think that this season, 34 points, I think, in the regular season, like double than last season. Then so many victories, I think, back-to-back victories, so many clean sheets. And, I think that the boys, they did a great job. They did a great job. Now about the finals, you never know. It's about one game, you know, anything can happen, and we saw that this year even the big teams, the bigger teams, let's say from top of the table, if we speak about some other teams with the biggest budget, they were suffering against small teams. The league is not easy, especially after the New Year's, especially with COVID outbreak. There were absolutely no time to train. The boys, they were exhausted with just recovering session, one training session, and then let's go and play. And then again, and if you do it for 1 or 2 weeks, then you can manage things. But 2.5 months, it was exhausting. It was really exhausted, and you could see that all around the league. In every club, there were so many injured players because there is no time to manage those things. And then it was just like we were trying to manage our boys till the end. There were so many injured players that like it was just sacrificing, and then you go play till the end. And in this short term of competition, you get injured somewhere in January for your season is done. And of course, we wanted to manage all those things at the end. We had our full squad. We didn't have Jessel, albino with the strong injuries, hard injuries, but I think that we managed all the things on a good way. And again, we were happy to be in the finals because it was after 6 seasons. Yeah, it was a great achievement. I think that everybody in Kerala should be happy, and for us, it's just an even bigger motivation to continue. You know, after we were discussing before the game in the dressing room, like it's been more than 2 years, I think now, and it was strange. It was weird to come out onto the pitch and see fans. Really, like after 2 years and more, with COVID pandemic all around, even in Europe, we were trying to remember when was the last time we were in a stadium with the fans, even watching game. We couldn't remember actually, and we were so pleased and grateful and thankful that they arrived from Kerala, and it was great to see them and hear them. It was really great and to see all this, and we were enjoying. We were enjoying today. Big thank you for all of them.
Coach, just 2 short questions from my side. First is, how do you explain this defeat to the players? We spoke at the pre-match press conference that these players, most of them are playing a final for the first time in their career, and they're so emotionally attached to this season, and then now emotionally drained after this defeat. How do you explain it to them?
This is the part of a career, you know, and of course you say that I'm glad that this year they saw the way and they felt the way how it can be achieved. And so hopefully that many of them, it will not be the first time only, and it will not be the only time. I hope that many of them will play more finals. But the good thing that when you work throughout the season and you feel and see all those things and you see that it is achievable, so then you know the recipe, you know how it can be achieved. So let's go again for hard work, and this is the beauty of football. So I hope that many of those boys we will see again in some finals.
My second question was, towards the latter stages of the season, you had been asked in every press conference about your contract extension, and you had mentioned how you are going to have the talk with the management. So have you had the talk with the management as yet? What is the status?
Yeah, we had the talk. So we said to each other that there is a big wish to continue together. So now I asked the management to sit down and finally talk and fix all those things when the season is done. I didn't want, and we didn't want these things to influence certain things, because we wanted to have clear mind and clear head, being focused on something else, on our way to the finals. And so now on, we will use now in the next days, in next week, to sit down, when the emotions cool down, because after such a game, such a season, you have to sleep over, you have to sit down, have a coffee, have a nice meal, and then you sit down and talk with a smile. So hopefully we see each other again.
Coach, a final question now. We came into the season when the ISL changed the regulation, which is 4 foreign players in the outfield. A lot of Indians got a push, a lot of Indians emerged. We talked yesterday about how Harmi Palm and Kapsi got immersed in the team. A comment on how the Indian youngsters across the season, across the teams have impressed you, and what is the way forward?
Well, from one side, it's great for Indian football because it obliges you to push and produce more young talents, young players. Even now, if you see the rule of every season, like having at least 4 development players in your squad, always 2 development players on your game sheet, You know, it pushes you as a club, as an organization, as a football federation to invest more and develop younger players, because younger players are the future of Indian football. When you develop those players on a certain and correct way, these players, when they grow up, they will be part of national team, and the national team will become better. I was witnessing actually, because I live in Belgium since 2005, and I was witnessing since 2006 the program of Belgian Federation, how they implemented and how they changed the way they wanted to create young players, how they want to work together with the teams, national teams and everything. And they were saying back then that they will miss maybe some big tournaments, but from 2014, from Brazil World Cup, they will have top players and top team and top national team. And now it's been years, I think, that Belgium, as a country, they are first on FIFA ranking. Why? Because they're producing young talents, they're producing young players, they're giving them chance to play in the competition, like for example ISL. When you give chance to those boys, they will develop, they will be better, they will become important part of their teams, key players, and of course, whoever is a national team coach, he will be pleased to see all those players growing up, and then the national team will become better. And then you will go then around here in South Asia, winning some games on a much easier way, and then qualifying for Asia Cup. But it is the process that has to be respected. So hopefully that ISL, together with all the teams, will create and building up those things which will just improve Indian football. I would really like to see that.
Thank you so much, coach, for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Stellar season.
With pleasure.
For the last final. We hope to see you next season. Thank you for all.
Thank you, guys. Okay, all the best.
Thank you, guys.